Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have XM4 Tundra Gameplay Explained series for you. We're going to go down on the XM4, what it does, what it can't, where it is it good for, and why is the XM4 actually so much fun. How does the recoil look? How's the damage? Which are the best attachments to choose on your XM4 to then clap jimmies left and right with it? Because the gun is absolutely viable, the gun is powerful, and as soon, obviously, as we're coming back to a more sniper meta and not that much of a DMR meta, then it will shine like crazy. High recommendation to check this out. You will love this XM4 build. It is very powerful and it's very dangerous. Okay, standard XM4 recoil, what are we dealing with? I'm having currently a suppressor on it because we're testing in plunder and I'm just trying to not get killed, so that is not affecting the recoil though at all. So standard XM4 shoots relatively straight in and just pulls off to the right. The very good thing to see is that there's not much horizontal bounce. Now let's go for 20 meters. 20 meters. Same. And still though, the horizontal bounce is relatively low, and that is fantastic to see because that is one thing of the M4 that has always been a problem, that when you're shooting the gun, it has like this spread that you can't control and you get a counter with attachments. Nonetheless though, we will obviously be looking at the standard underbarrel, which is the field agent grip with the vert recoil and the horizontal recoil control. There is no other grip that is better. This is just the standard grip to put on, which is kind of sad on Cold War guns compared to Modern Warfare guns, that you really just have one grip. But on the barrels, we have a lot to talk about, because if we're looking at the barrels, you would choose the task force, which does plus damage, plus effective damage range, and plus bullet velocity. Would obviously ruin your horizontal and vert recoil control, but we have the foregrip and we've seen there is not much horizontal. The problem here being is the plus damage is a lie. On most guns, it seems to not work, or it seems to just be a placebo effect. So until this is fixed, I would not actually use the task force barrel. Which barrel would be the best currently? Seems like the reinforced heavy, because it gives you bullet velocity and damage range, but it does not give you enough bullet velocity, because with this barrel you end up at like a 700 roughly bullet velocity, but your damage range gets increased, which is cool. Considering though that the standard damage range of the M4 is like 40 meters, and you can already increase it with the suppressor, because the suppressor gives you also bullet velocity and damage range. I would actually look for the 13.7 extended barrel, because that gives you plus 100% velocity, which brings you up to 1,000 meters per second, where then with actually the suppressor, you're ending up at kilo values and you're making the gun hit scan for these 50 meter shots that you want to do, for this 50 meters where your effective damage range literally is with the suppressor. So that would be actually the perfect combination, extended barrel plus agency suppressor, that you're then actually having the sound suppression, the damage range, the bullet velocity over 1,000 plus over 50 meters, good on beaming before your damage fall off pretty much happens. Let's check out how this shoots. And you can see on 10 meters, there is not much here of a difference. The bullets seem a little bit more clustered. I would say they're more in each other. But again, there wasn't much horizontal. We got horizontal down and we just got the vert down a little bit. We're going now for 20 meters. We should be seeing a little bit more of a difference, because obviously it's 20 friggin' meters, where the gun gets a little bit more unruly. But all in all, you just notice it's a little bit more squished due to the vert recoil. We kind of get like this little one at the end that we had here too, but it's a bit more straighter up. And the bullets are just nice and good clustered. Now, obviously, interesting question would be, if we put on the task force barrel, considering the task force barrel would work, how would the recoil look now? Would it still make sense to actually play it this way, or would you consider to change it? Because we're not sure. This is like, you know, it's the task force barrel when the plus damage works, when this is confirmed that it finally works when they patched it in, because then you would go from 30 damage per bullet up to 32 damage per bullet, which would mean 1 bullet less per kill. Because with 32 damage per bullet, you need 8 shots to kill, and with 30 damage you need 9 shots to kill, which really is not the problem with the insane fire rate that this gun has. But now let's look at the task force barrel in comparison to what we have here already, to see if that really makes a big difference in recoil. 10 meters, and I gotta say, you can already feel the horizontal a bit. Let's see what we got here. So the vert definitely did get increased. So we feel the vert going up, but the horizontal is not really making that much of a difference. So what you see definitely here, the vertical recoil gets much higher, but the horizontal bounce doesn't get higher. So what you have to do is you have to pull the gun a little bit more down. Then again, if the damage actually gets fixed, it might be an option. Still though, considering that, yes, you get the bonus damage, but you also get less bullet velocity than the extended. Way less bullet velocity. So with this, again, you're at a 1,300 roughly with the suppressor, and with this, you would end up like at 1,000. And that makes a big difference when you're spraying action. You're used to like this kilo-like or growl-like kind of bullet velocity spray pattern that you suddenly feel like something is off. So the extended really makes most sense for me. When it comes down to ammunition, I've actually started using mostly the 45 round mag. Because the 45 round mag only has a minus of reload quickness, which is fine because all the Cold War guns actually have a really quick reload. 45 round mag is mostly enough to kill people. Yes, the Salvo 60 round fast mag is technically the best, and also it seems like that the minus aim down sight time is actually a non-existent stat. Have been tested with all the mags before that it seems like, yes, there is in the stats written it does, but it doesn't, which will get fixed obviously in the long run. So right now you could play the 60 round mag, but realistically I would already get used to the 45 round mag. And then last but not least, I would love to actually play the Serpent Wrap for the insane ADS speed time. I would love to play the Airborne Elastic Wrap, but realistically, I need a scope on this. I've been playing the Microflex. I would love to play the Silix Holo Scout, but again, the Silix Holo Scout in close quarter combat could get you conked, but also I don't have a common reticle, so I mostly play the Microflex LED, which works fantastic. Now this would be the final build of the XM4, meant to be an absolute amazing sniper support gun. It is very good. As you can see, it shoots super nice clustered bullets, has a good fire rate, and the most important part, it is easy to control. Like the recoil pattern is relatively simple. You get the gun out, you crouch, you see someone running, and then you just go away. What you're really gonna get used to is the high fire rate, obviously. I really would like to play the Silix Holo Scout in the long run to make the gun even better, because target acquisition with the different reticles would be absolutely the vibe. Why am I saying as a sniper support gun? Because for me personally, none of the Cold War guns feels really good as a long-range sprayer. The actual 3 arms, the Vision Tag 2x, none of them does feel good due to the idle sway in the scopes. Until they actually reduce the heavy idle sway in any of these scopes, spraying feels extremely weird on the long range with any Cold War gun. That's why I think the ARs are mainly for me used as sniper support ARs. The Crick can be used because like with a Microflex LED, the idle sway feels relatively non-existent. So Crick plus an SMG or a shotgun. But really for the XM4, I haven't found any use in over the 50 meter range. You don't want to spray this on 100 meters due to the insane fire rate. You really want to hit your snipe and then spray them down if needed to hit like 3, 4, 5 bullets that you need to kill. What do we pair this with now? I actually pair this with the Tundra. Funny story, the Tundra has more bullet velocity than the HDR. A little bit more bullet drop on the distance, 5%, which is okay. But in total, if you actually use the 29.1 inch combat recon barrel and you use the suppressor, which I don't have, but I've been using off my friends, then you have a 1,250 bullet velocity, which is higher by some meters per second than the HDR. Therefore, on running targets, you're actually way better when it comes down to hitting your shots. Obviously, if a target is standing completely still and you're just acquiring it, yes, the HDR is the hit scan sniper to go for. But with this insane bullet velocity and only 5% more bullet drop, you're absolutely ready to go to crack some jimmies left and right. I play the combat recon barrel, currently the infantry stabilizer until I have the suppressor unlocked or a friend of mine drops me the gun. Then I do love to play the infiltrator group because it makes you run with a Cold War sniper as fast as you do with the riot shield. It's quite crazy how fast the movement speed gets increased. I play the fast mag, and then last but not least, I do play the field tape currently, which is going to get replaced by the level 44 tape as soon as that is unlocked, because it gives ADS time and flinch resistance, and you do really need flinch resistance with Cold War snipers, because even if one single bullet whizzes past your ear and you do not have flinch resistance, it feels like your gun just flies out of your hand like crazy. Yes, you could try different optics like the Royal Cross 4 times, for example, or the actual 3 times you want to do for a bit more quick ADS, but I do feel like the ADS time is actually faster than the HDR and feels really good, especially with a level 44 RAB. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this short and little XM4 Explained series. We will definitely have XM4 and Tundra gameplay happening for you. Yes, even in the DMR Warzone meta, I've been playing with these guns and trying them a lot. Especially what I've been trying on the XM4 is also using the SOCOM Eliminator and the Infantry Compensator. But due to the stats, due to the bullet velocity, due to the damage range, it just feels better to use the Agency Suppressor. Yes, the gun gets significantly better or feels better to shoot with the SOCOM Eliminator, especially on the high vertical recoil, but as soon as you get used to the gun, the Agency Suppressor is just the vibe, because you really want to have that insane bullet velocity to clip jimmies left and right. Thank you for supporting the channel so much. Thank you for liking the Explained series. You're all very appreciated. I'm super happy to bring these guns to you, and it's going to be an absolute exciting time as soon as the gun changes balances, nerfs come, and these builds get more and more viable. You can win games with them, that is out of question. But obviously, playing a sniper right now is very crazy, since you can just get 2-tapped by a DMR, like, ha ha ha, omega lul. Still though, thank you for watching these, supporting these, enjoying these. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the live stream Twitch TV Ponyhof, where we try these guns from 8 AM to 4 PM German times. And also check out the second channel, Ponyhof Plays, where we upload variety content with different games if you would like to see more of me in a different setting. Have a wonderful good time and see you soon on Verdansk. And also never forget to drop your XM4 builds in the comments so I can see what you're playing.